On this channel, I've discussed several times what to do when you're in a situation where all of a sudden your campaign stops performing. There's a lot of things that can be happening here, different areas that you need to be looking at, not just your ads, but also your funnel stats. And if you are curious about one of those videos, you can go ahead and check that out right here. But what if there's a scenario where you have exhausted all of your resources? You've checked your data and on the ad side and it's totally fine. You've checked your data on the funnel side and it's totally fine. You looked over and under every single cover and everything looks fine, and you just cannot pinpoint what the heck is going on. You're putting new ads out there, you're putting new images out there, videos, whatever it might be. Everything you throw at your account just does not work. What do you do in this situation? Well, this is a situation I recently encountered with a client, and it's actually the second time I have seen this. And to be 100% honest, I don't know exactly why this happens sometimes. I just know that it does, and also in speaking with other people, they all have also experienced the same thing, where your account is fine, it's cruising, and then all of a sudden, absolutely nothing works, and it does not seem to be anything on the ad side or the funnel side. It just seems to be something wrong with the account itself. So what do you do in the scenario where your long-time faithful account that has done great things for your business all of a sudden has just given up on its life, so to speak? Well, here in this scenario, in both cases that I experienced this personally with my clients, what we ended up doing was actually creating a new ad account and a new pixel. And then we started running ads through that, and that actually fixed the issue. We started seeing our old results back again. So I don't want you to think there that there's nothing you can do. So if you are encountering this, I highly encourage you to give this a try. However, it's certainly not a guarantee that this is going to work. Thankfully, in my scenario, I am 2 for 2 with clients when we do this. And again, it's very difficult, if not next to impossible, to pinpoint what even causes this in the first place. One thing that might happen, which wasn't actually the case in either one of these scenarios with my clients, but it's still a possibility because I do see and hear of this happening to other people. It's possible that the data on your pixel has been corrupted. Now, what do I mean by this? It's not that all of a sudden your pixel cannot process data, but your pixel has potentially been hijacked. So one thing that a lot of people don't actually realize is that anyone can go to your website at any time, grab your pixel, and they can then install it on any website they want. If it's a spam site, they can go ahead and install it on that spam site. And then all of a sudden, your pixel is going to start collecting all of this 100% irrelevant data that has nothing to do with business. And so then when you start running ads, it just doesn't know what to do because it has all this bad information going into the pixel, and it just doesn't know what to do at this point. Like I said, this actually was not the case for either one of the client scenarios I've encountered. So I actually still can't pinpoint 100% why it happened to them. However, for this issue of preventing your pixel from getting corrupted, there is a technique that you can use to prevent this from happening. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so here we are inside of my ad account. So I am over in Events Manager, and I went to data sources here specifically. You typically land on Overview, but you want to click on Data Sources, and then once you're here, you want to go over to your Settings tab, and then you can go ahead and scroll down until you see the traffic permissions section. So here with the traffic permission section, you can do one of two things. You can create an allow list, or you can create a block list. I personally prefer the allow list simply because it's easier, because you tell it right off the bat that here is the domain or domains that you are allowed to collect data from. Anything outside of that, even if someone hijacks your pixel, do not collect that data. The challenge with a block list is that you have to be very active with the block list, right? You have to see data from some sort of third-party website that isn't yours coming in, and then you have to quickly come in here and go ahead and block that. But the issue with that is that unless you're checking this on a daily basis, you could honestly go weeks, without really realizing that your pixel has been hijacked and corrupted. So in order to do an allow list, you can still do a block list. I'm not going to stop you from doing that if that's what you prefer. But again, I do recommend the allow list because it's just simpler and easier. So you can actually see right here that we're already seeing this in action, right? So alvarobarrios.com, Alvaro Barrios go.alvarobarrios.ai and then go.alvarobarrios.com are the ones that are allowed. And then this one, m.weibo.cn, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. No idea what that is. And I'm not going to go to that website because who knows what I'll find. But you can see here that it has been sending events to my Pixel. Not a lot, it's only 4, but still. But it's automatically blocked because it's not in my allow list. So in order to add something to your allow list, what you do is that you come up here and you just add in the domain that you want to add. So I'm just going to add the base domain of alvarobarrios.ai because I have www.alvarobarrios.ai, but that doesn't always appear in the URL, right? So I just want it to know that anything with alvarobarrios.ai, whether it's www, join.alvarobarrios.ai, or whatever it might be, all of those can be allowed. Then I click next. Oh, it's actually already on my allow list. I thought that, for example, that it wasn't going to factor in, or sorry, it does factor in the www here. And so therefore it would still allow me to add this, but it looks like it recognizes that anything that comes from that will be allowed. So that's simple and easy, but in other circumstances, it would have gone and accepted that right there. So here is the block list. Like I said, I actually haven't added or created a block list because again, you do have to be very, very on top of this in order to, have it work efficiently. But you do the same thing, right? You come here, you enter your domain. You can only use this if you're not using an allow list, though, as you can see right here. So this says you're already in using an allow list to stop receiving traffic from certain domains. To use the block list, you will first have to clear all your domains from the block list. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but you can probably tell here that's a very simple process. You add the domains you want to block, click next, click confirm, and then you are good to go. So the only thing that you need to be aware of when you are doing the allow list, even though I think it is the easier version, is that if you do add a new domain, if you have, for example, this alvarobarrios.ai one, it's a new one for me within the last year, so if you are adding a new domain to your business, you have to remember to come over here and add that. Otherwise, you can start running ads. You're not going to be collecting data. You're going to be like, okay, what the heck is going on? And it's because you're not on the allow list from your settings right here. So just make sure that you are aware of that every time if you do add new domains. All right, so there you have it. There's a good way to protect the data of your Pixel. But like I said, this actually was not the case with my 2 clients. There's just some situations and some circumstances that I just think no one can explain. If you are finding yourself in this boat, the best thing I can tell you, or the most comforting thing I can tell you, is that you are not alone. This does happen for whatever reason. But the good news is that you can create a new ad account, you can create a new Pixel, you can start running ads through that new account and that new Pixel. And so far in the scenarios I've been involved with, this has always fixed the issue and we're able to get our clients back up and running like they were before. So hopefully this video has given you some hope if you find yourself in this unfortunate situation. And as always, if you have any questions about the topic that I covered today, just go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.